Good evening. My name is Lynn Southam. I'm chairman of the 2014 LDS Scout Encampment for the Denver Area Council. This encampment will bring together scout troops from all of the stakes in the Denver metro area. Additionally, we will have troops from Colorado Springs, Pueblo, and some outlying areas as well. This will be a wonderful encampment that will take place during 2 separate weeks, the first being the week of July the 14th through the 19th, the second being July the 28th through August the 2nd. During each of those 2 weeks, we will have encampments at both Peaceful Valley Scout Camp and Tohosa Camp as well. We will have separate discussions on what will take place at those 2 camps in a few minutes. But we're encouraging all of our young people from all of these stakes to come. These young men, ages 12 through 18, are invited to participate, to excel in merit badges, a rank advancement, and some high adventure activities that are rather unique. We invite all of them to come, invite their parents to also feel free to ask the committee members from their respective states, including the youth and the adult committee members, about any of the details so that they'll know what their young men will be experiencing during this scout camp.
Hi, I'm Curtis Ashton, and I am over the Peaceful Valley encampments underneath Lynn. Peaceful Valley, as many of you are already aware, consists primarily of 2 camps for Boy Scouts. Generally the younger Boy Scouts, those of the 12, 13-year-old age group. There's 2 camps. One is Camp Chris Dobbins, and Camp Chris Dobbins has a built-in dining hall. Camp Dietler, right next to it, the meals are prepared by the Scouts. So there's 2 different types of meal-type camping. Camp Dietler being for maybe a little bit more advanced scout, and Camp Dobbins being for the brand new type scout. Both of them are very merit badge and advancement focused. So these are for the scouts who are working towards their eagle. Now, we're going to do several special things this year for LDS Encampment. We're going to have 3 special programs in the evening. All 3 will involve flag ceremonies. And for example, we'll have a family night, which we'll be doing on Friday night, and we'll also have family flags on Monday night as well. Here's an example of a family flag from Brother Southam. And all the scouts are encouraged to design and build their own family flags, a great family home evening activity. We'll also have a Citizenship in the Nation night, and we hope to have a flag from the Challenger spacecraft that ended up at the bottom of the ocean and was recovered. We'll have a family night on Friday night, like I mentioned, and we'll have a Citizenship in the World night that night, where we'll show flags from all over the world. In addition, at the Citizenship in the Nation night, we'll be showing flags from all parts of the United States. We'll also have special videos from high-ranking leaders, both within the church and within the scouting program in general of the Boy Scouts of America. Our theme is the Whistling and Whittling Brigade. If you have not heard of the Whistling and Whittling Brigade of Nauvoo, do a Google search and you'll learn about this wonderful little forgotten piece of church history. And these boys will learn a lot about it during the encampment week and bring home some mementos so that they'll remember the Whistling and Whittling Brigade and what a 12 and 13-year-old can do to help their community.
Hi, I'm Trey Holst, and I'm going to be leading up the Tohosa portion of our LDS encampment. And we have a lot of wonderful things that we'll be doing during that camp out. But the Tohosa environment is one where we have a lot of flexibility on the things that our Boy Scouts can do. And we want to make sure that it's boy-led, and we want to make sure that we don't take over, and we give the boys the opportunity to grow and lead. As the LDS encampment comes in, we have a theme of having the rescue, and during most of the portions of the rescue that we read about, many of the handcart company stories that we hear about involve the youth and these teenagers that are in about the same age group as those that will be attending Tohosa. And they were learning to be good leaders, and they were doing things that were hard things, and they were learning that they could get over hard things. And there are a lot of activities in Tohosa that will help them to achieve this knowledge as well. There's rock climbing, there's going to be shotgun and .22 shooting. We will have a Mormon Battalion March, which we will hear about later in this presentation. And we also have some hikes that we can take in 2 to 3 day portions. And we have a COPES course, which they will learn many skills in working in groups. And also the high ropes course, which challenges them and lets them know that they can do very hard things. And these are some of the things that your scouts can look forward to as they prepare to go to the LDS encampment.
Hi, I'm Lane Nelson. I'll be heading up the Mormon Battalion March portion of this year's LDS encampment. And this part of our encampment is actually the kickoff week, the kickoff for our Tohosa camp. It'll involve our 14-year-old boys and older. And what we have is a unique opportunity to really learn more about the Mormon Battalion history, particularly along the Colorado Trail around the South Platte River area, which we will be starting each Monday of the hike for Tohosa Camp. We'll start at Fort Lupton, and there we'll gather, go through camp registration and enlistment processes, breaking out into companies and getting ourselves ready to go out on the trail. This will be a unique opportunity then for the boys to also kind of go through that process of being enlisted and taking that charge upon themselves. We encourage all young men and adults who are going to be participating to dress period. This can be as simple as the things that for many stakes that are engaged in the handcart trek up in Wyoming, same type of attire is absolutely appropriate. We'll, during the enlistment period process, be making the period belts that the Mormon Battalion members also wore and set themselves apart as being part of the U.S. military. That'll be one of the mementos that the young men will be able to take with them as a keepsake from this event. Our goal for this activity is really twofold. One, we want to have fun, but we want to do that in the process of learning, again, more about our Mormon Battalion heritage and history, and at the same time earning a Mormon Battalion award. There's an official award that requires a few requirements, but we set up this process, this program from Monday through Tuesday to achieve all those requirements, fulfill all those. One of which is overnight camp out on the trail and covering 15 miles worth of 15 miles in distance. And so the boys will have an opportunity to do that. We'll start that Monday morning late after we've done registration and enlistment. That'll end back up at Fort Lupton while we're overnight. We'll have a great opportunity and unique experience really to have our campfire program inside the rebuilt Fort Lupton facility. They have a great courtyard with campfire pit there and ability for us to have a great campfire program. We're also engaging the Tallow River Trappers Mountain Men Rendezvous Team to do some education with us and some activities on Monday afternoon. And Tuesday we'll get up after a flag ceremony and breakfast, break camp, and finish the last half of the hike in the Fort Vasquez area and visit a museum there. From there, the units will be responsible for getting themselves transported back up to Camp Tohosa and can then continue on with all the activities that Camp Tohosa has to offer. This will repeat itself on both weeks, the 14th and 15th and the 28th and 29th of the 2 weeks of LDS encampment, culminating in a Mormon Battalion commemorative ceremony for a landmark a historic landmark that's being put into Kiowa. There'll be more information on that in the latter part of this video by Brother Lynn Southam. But encourage all the young men, ages 14 and older, to participate, get the units organized, and it should be a great event. Thank you.
I just wanted to take a few minutes and detail for you some of the events that are unique as it pertains to the reenactment of the trek of the 6th Detachment of the Mormon Battalion. The people of the state of Colorado really do not know about this part of their state history. But the Mormon Battalion is unique. It is the only organization in U.S. military history that was recruited from a single religious body. Furthermore, the Mormon Battalion made the longest trek in U.S. military history, starting out for their purposes at Fort Leavenworth in Kansas, following the Santa Fe Trail down through Santa Fe, then across Arizona on into San Diego where they were discharged. What happened en route, however, is there were several small groups of men who were sick, who could not continue the march, and were sent to Fort Pueblo in Colorado. In Fort Pueblo, 15 of those men died. However, that winter of 1846 and 47, they were in company with a group of converts to the church from Mississippi. During that winter, there were a number of children born. The first white children born in Colorado were born to the women of this Mormon colony that was in Fort Pueblo. In the spring of 1847, these men and their families started to march north along what is called the Trappers Trail. And that trail comes up through Colorado Springs on the east side of the city, up through Elbert County, past Peaceful Valley Scout Camp, past Kiowa, on up into Franktown and Castle Rock and so forth. Then as they get into Denver, Colorado, they get to the area where they follow the Platte River, and they go north as indicated by Lane and go up through Fort Lupton and through Fort Vasquez, further on up to Fort Laramie, Wyoming. Our boys will participate in a 15-mile hike as indicated. However, we have one scout who is working on his Eagle Badge, and as his project will be creating 2 monuments in Kiowa, Colorado. They will be dedicated on the morning of August the 2nd, which is Saturday, the last day of our last week of Scout Camp. In that dedication, we will have represented individuals from the United States Army Mounted Color Guard out of Fort Carson. We also will have young men who have participated in the battalion reenactment. Not only will they have the belts that they made, but they'll be carrying replica rifles, which have been made for purposes of reenacting the battalion. These young men will also be joined by the scouts from Peaceful Valley who are concluding their week and will be going home. We will invite Native Americans, mountain men, and other groups to join us in that occasion where those monuments will be dedicated. The first monument will tell the history of the Trappers Trail and each of the groups who traveled on it during the mid-1800s. The second monument will be a small monument honoring all men and women from Elbert County who have served in the U.S. military. That monument will be made out of stones collected from all of the historic forts in Colorado, and including Santa Fe, New Mexico. As you come up into our state of Colorado, we will have various other forts, Fort Pueblo, Bent's Fort, Fort Vasquez, Fort Lyons, and on up to Fort Laramie. So it'll be a great experience for these boys to be there as we have these 2 monuments dedicated, which frankly will be funded by contributions from members of the church and a private donation to pay for this experience. This is going to be a marvelous event which will be attended by historians from the state of Colorado, various organizations including the Mormon Battalion Association, the Church Historian's Office for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and others. We hope to have the media there and present covering the event for news broadcast, the county commissioners from Elbert County, the mayor there from Kiowa, and other individuals be invited to participate with us. It'll be an event to which mothers and fathers and children, family members of the Scouts will want to come and see their boys participate in this parade and in this great celebration of the history of the state of Colorado.